acknowledgement of a creation myth. Before the world became the world, it was an egg. Inside the egg was dark. The rat nibbled the egg and let the light in. And the world began. The adult Norway rat can jump 32 inches high. Baltimore City trash cans are 34 inches high. Presentation of a video game. A satellite map of Baltimore is loaded into the program. A 3D terrain is created. The user assumes the role of a floating point within the game. A null object. Explanation of an experiment. Scientists place food at the end of a maze. A glass barrier is placed so the food can be seen but not reached. A rat runs the maze and is disappointed. The rat sleeps, and the scientists record its brainwave activity. The scientists find the same firing patterns of the neurons activated by the unreachable food are also activated in its sleep. The rat is dreaming of reaching the food. The rat is dreaming of a desirable future. A baby rat won't open its eyes until it's 2 weeks old. Does the blind rat dream?
Watch what I do. Yeah, you hear what I say? Please call me. That's what I do. My name is Edmund, but you ain't gonna get me. You're gonna get the switchboard, but it's gonna be me because this is my neighborhood. This is my neighborhood, I'm telling you. It's gonna be a small thing to lay them down for y'all. Watch. It ain't never been a rat problem in Baltimore. Always been a people problem. And that ain't gonna change until you educate the people. This right here is diatrac. Now I think that's one of the favorite poisons for the guys because it's a no-choice poison. Most of the time we kill exactly what we're trying to kill. We inject the poison right into the hole with them, and it coats the whole lining of the hole. So they're gonna bump into it and hit it. And as they say, wow, okay, look at me, I'm dirty now. Let me groom. And we get them. They don't have a choice. No choice. That's what I meant when I said no choice. No, let me stop. No, I work for the Baltimore City Rat Rub-Out program. Basically what we do is we come out, we assess what people believe to be rat problems. We project what we can do and possibly how we can help them, and then we try to correct the problem. Basically.
1911. Baltimore City enacts a resolution. Quote, an ordinance for preserving peace, preventing conflict, and ill feeling between the white and colored races in Baltimore City. The law prohibits blacks from moving into majority white neighborhoods and whites from moving into majority black neighborhoods. It is a desperate attempt by the government to halt the rapid integration of the city. It is the nation's first legislation of its kind. Six years later, a Supreme Court decision rules residential segregation ordinances unconstitutional, and the legislation is struck down. Segregation moves to the private sector. Upscale white neighborhoods maintain racial homogeneity by forming covenants that require new homeowners to sign contracts barring the sale of homes to black or minority homeowners. A map, deliberately frozen. Its boundaries strain with the pressures of the growing city.
Now, can you see my hands? Can you do like this? This beer that I got right here. This beer that I got. Yeah. Then this is a 25-ounce can. Natty Daddy. Natty Boat. Let's put two of them together. No exaggeration. Put two of these cans together. Right? Okay? Well, let's say 1.5 of these cans. Okay, that's just the body from the head to the ass. The tail. The tail reminds me of like an iguana. Yeah, and so slow. You know, just an old timer that's been around. Yeah, that little Nixon shit where it's been up in the cars. where they start their engines up and the fan belt hit them, the fan hits them and nick them and shit. Yeah, I've been around soldiers. That's how big I seen them.
A confidential Rockefeller Foundation report names a gaping vulnerability in America's World War II defense effort. Quote, "There is fear that the enemy might resort to germ warfare, using rats to spread bubonic plague throughout city centers. War is declared on the Norway rat. Traditional rat poison used a compound derived from the red squill plant. However, red squill only grew on the Greek shores of the Mediterranean, a territory locked off by Axis German control. Americans were left without a rat poison." Enter Dr. Kurt Richter, a prominent scientist at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore. Richter's work primarily focused on the biological roots of behavior, particularly with his favorite test subject, the rat. During an experiment on the inheritance properties of taste response to phenylthiourea, Richter made a surprising discovery. The compound was tested on a group of lab rats. In the morning, they were all dead. A new candidate for rat poison had been found. There are two key factors when considering a new rat poison. 1, the poison must be attractive to rats. 2, it must only kill rats. As large enough doses in humans merely induced vomiting, Richter argued that it was safe for widespread use. Because the proprietary formula remained a closely guarded secret, government safety inspections were never conducted. In 1942, with funding from both the city and the Rockefeller Foundation, a field trial was initiated in the primarily black neighborhood surrounding Johns Hopkins Hospital, an area frequently used for public health studies. Within days, hundreds of dead rats lined the streets. These photos, gathered by the Baltimore Citizens Planning and Housing Commission, were taken to document the deteriorating conditions of the city's slum districts. They were used as evidence in targeting high-impact areas for Baltimore's Rodent Control Project, the first government pest program in the nation. At its helm, Dr. Kurt P. Richter.
Body beat. 3, 4. Rats. I hate those slimy little fuckers. I want to beat them with a bat. Rats. They're useless. Rats. I want to beat them with a baseball bat, but I don't have one right now. And there's no rats here. We gotta wait till dark. And then we go get some rats and beat them over the fucking head. Beat them out of the trash cans. Right over their fucking little greasy heads. Rats. I hate them. Hit them with a baseball bat. Really bad. I hate those little slimy motherfuckers. Two, 3, 4.
That was the best I ever heard. That was the best I ever heard.
Hey, man, that's how we do it.
Quote, "If someone were to give me the power to create an animal most useful for all types of studies on problems concerned with human welfare, I could not possibly improve on the Norway rat. Dr. Kurt P. Richter. Qualifications for an ideal model. The Norway rat's dietary needs are very nearly the same as a human. It is a stable and predictable creature. Its small size make it perfect for handling in all types of surgical procedures. The short lifespan, typically 2 to 3 years in a laboratory environment, make it an ideal candidate for studies concerning growth, development, and aging. Additionally, the rat's cultural position as a pest make it less sympathetic of an experimental subject than other animals, such as dogs, cats, and monkeys.
Hole here, hole over there, and a hole. All see up right in here? All them holes right here coming from out of the cement. That's where the rat's coming from.
I ain't do nothing.
I ain't saying no, I'm just tired. I mean, I can't even come out here and hang out clothes.
I didn't do it. Come.
We're not the only one. I'm not the only one who has rats. They have rats. See the yard? See the yard? The one on the corner has rats.
I love them.
Well, you keep on loving them.
They put food on my table.
Shit,
right?
put shit on you. You mean a muskrat? Huh? Oh, you mean killing them?
Yeah.
They put
them
food
guys.
on your table.
Love them.
But it don't put food on my table to have rats coming in. I got children. I can't come out with these children. You know? So otherwise than that, I got to get this shit together. I mean, they done died off, they done ate the poison and shit. Last year, I kept on putting it with peanut butter, and they wasn't eating it. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna out-slick the damn rat this time. So what I did, I out-slicked them that time. Last year, what I did the same thing. I put the barbecue sauce, mixed it in with the rat poison, and put it right on the hole. That's what's in there now. That's why they eating it.
Here's what happened, baby. Here's what happened in a nutshell.
What?
We was going with the peanut butter for quite a while.
No, I only went to
They figured it out. Listen to what I'm saying. They figured it out. They say, every time we mess with this peanut butter stuff, we in trouble. So now that you try something different, it don't matter what you mix with it.
That is right.
If it's poison, you must make it attractive.
That's right.
Or else they're not going to eat it.
That's what I did. I put that barbecue sauce in there. They made it attractive and got them there.
Ask them decon people.
I really did. Decon ain't doing shit.
They've been on the market for 1,000 years.
Call me. I'm the decon woman.
It's been on the market for 1 billion years. Them guys can eat that stuff and just keep going.
I'm telling you.
Finish having a wonderful day.
I'm going to try to do that.
Please do.
Yep. Gotta get rid of them rats. Got to get rid of them
Yes, ma'am. Pleasure was all mine. All right. A lot of times we be trying to get in and get out, and we can't. So now, when I put down on my paperwork that I was here for 25 minutes, my boss be telling me, really? 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 Sometimes people slip through the cracks. I think that's what that was. On them cracks.
The laboratory changes the rat. Among traits noted by Dr. Richter in domesticated versus wild Norway rat populations: a shrinking of adrenals, smaller organs, such as the liver, the heart, and the brain, aversion to physical activity, submissiveness to restraint. Richter believed his findings had a wider impact than just the lab. In a paper titled Rats, Man, and the Welfare State, Richter argued that the modern comforts of living afforded by technological progress and social welfare programs had led to a crippling of man's abilities. War had been declared on the rat once again. Critics were quick to point out the eugenic implications of Dr. Richter's work. A rebuttal letter published in the American Psychologist. Quote, "As I recall, two other gentlemen named Hitler and Stalin agreed upon a somewhat similar philosophy. Richter, like the aforementioned gentleman, misses the whole point of civilization. The merit of science lies in the fact that where it cannot modify the individual to meet the environment, it offers hope of modifying the environment to meet the individual."
Check this one out. Yeah. All right, so this is what I use for rat hunting in the backyard here. This is my customized zebrawood handle. It's a single shot 177 caliber pellet rifle. It does about 800 feet per second, and it's pretty fun when I'm feeling sporty. You only get one shot, so usually if you miss, they run away, and then you have to, reload it, and they're gone. So, and I got property of the Rat Czar on this one. And then this is one of the original rifles that I used this as a kid, basically. Used to shoot rabbits for sport in Pennsylvania, and these are good old Pumpmaster 760s that you can just buy at Walmart for $22, I think. And they work pretty well. This one I put a laser sight on, so it's wherever that laser is where the pellet goes, and I can basically do headshots with this one. They're pretty great. And there's one right now. Ah. We're gonna get some tonight, boys. This is a version of this that I just... There we go. We're gonna use the blowgun. Where'd he go? This is a blowgun. It shoots 6-inch broadhead tips, and it'll go right through them. No suffering. Now this is what they look like. They're basically same thing that you would do with a deer. We're gonna get them. right here, he's gonna pop his head out. He'll be back. Okay, well, basically a live pinky. All of mine eat frozen thawed pinkies anyways, but when I'm at a show, I don't like putting the frozen thawed in there because it gets hot and it goes bad quickly. So this is what I feed the snakes when I'm at a show. And most of the time, I use tweezers. I normally get 300 live pinkies and fuzzies a week. And then I go through another 200 larger mice a week. The way I look at it, the same creator created them.
All right, man, so we're gonna go to the local convenience store. We get some peanut butter, you know, or either some, you know, some raw meat. Just so they're attracted to smell. For some odd reason, they love peanut butter. So, let's see what they got. All right. What's going on, buddy? How are you? You guys have lunch meat? Yeah, like turkey breast. Turkey breast? Turkey breast is great. Peanut butter. Good. Extra crunchy. I'm gonna get a quarter pound of turkey breast, man.
Yes, sir.
You know, I guess turkey has a stronger odor to it, or, you know, oil-based. I like chicken. You know, and peanut butter just gives it that extra, I guess, that pasty taste. Something that's gonna stick to their bones, I guess.
All right, good luck again, bro.
All right, man. Thank you. All right, man, let's go.
They probably just fucking one of them cop shows or something, man.
So that's probably right around the back this way.
Yeah.
So you can see the front around this way. Look at this shit. Look at this. Trash, nest, heat, warmth. Oh, look at this. Hell yeah, look at this. This is perfect. Look at the rats right there. It's a rat there. It's a rat over there. Oh, yeah. Want to see if we can park here? Yeah, we're just gonna pull right here. They running all back through there, man. Look. This is perfect. This is perfect. There's one right here, like literally right here. You see it? There's one here. There's a few back there. Like it's one right here on the side. Run across. Yes, man, let's bait up. Let's bait up. All right, so what we're gonna do. Right now, I have a double hook. So basically, I get 2 chances. So same thing if you was fishing for spot, perch, bass, anything of that sort. Normally, the bigger the bait, the bigger the fish. So we're gonna basically weave in the meat. And then I'll take some of this peanut butter. Open that thing up like that. And if we could, we're gonna dip these little peanut chunks. Like dip your finger in it. And kind of see if we can cake it up. Oh, that's the slugger. That's the Louisville slugger. So, so as soon as we get them, gone. All right, so basically, at this point now, we're gonna just cast out, count on the right side. 1. Up, there we go. We're still connected. And basically, we're gonna sit and wait. It's gotta be patient. You gotta be real patient. Gotta kind of like keep your cool. Because here they come. Once again, you gotta kind of keep your line tight.
That's where you're gonna find a rat. And the places where most uneducated people are, the ones who have the least resources, the people who have no dreams, no aspirations, just surviving. That's basically where you're gonna find them guys. That's it, in a nutshell. Some guys are sharp, though. I like them because they got one mission. You don't see no rats educated nowhere or trying to move to Beverly Hills. Or they do what they do, wherever they at. How did this happen? So I got to go all the way back up 604, get in. How did this happen? How did this happen? How did this happen? How did this happen? Let me see. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong, girl? All right, let's turn this around.
(1951). A confidential Rockefeller Foundation report lists the weaknesses of Kurt Richter's poisoning program. Killing procedures merely make room for more rats to grow up and actually increase the yield of rat flesh per acre per year. Quote, killing them proved an almost endless, tedious, highly repetitive, and expensive job. Enter Dr. David E. Davis, a colleague of Dr. Richter's at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. If Dr. Richter's work tried to bring nature into the lab, Davis tried to bring the lab into nature. Davis's fieldwork meticulously mapped the distribution of rats in the urban environment, charting their movements across yards, fences, and alleyways. Organism and environment were impossible to separate. All elements in a given system had to be studied in conversation with itself. This ecological approach expanded the focus of rodent control into the human environment that supported them. Human factors such as trash pickup, the prevalence of vacant housing, access to water, and adequacy of sewage systems became objects of study for their effects on rat populations. By controlling these human factors, Davis found, rat populations could be curbed and eventually eliminated or stabilized at a sustainable level. A link. Control the environment, control the rats. Davis's findings shifted policy and funding from poisoning programs to bringing city blocks up to newly instated housing codes. Dr. Davis, a quote, "The beauty of this ecological method of control is that it improves the housing and living conditions of the human population, in addition to reducing the rat population." A defunded Dr. Kurt Richter vehemently opposed any ecological approach, calling Davis's methods purely defensive. Killing rats, he argued, required an offensive solution.
I don't know where she is. Maybe. Yeah.
She probably, yeah, she probably like looking at us.
She's under the sofa or inside the sofa.
Yeah, I see her. Hey. She's looking at you. Hey.
Come on, girl. Back to the cage. Okay, so where were we? Rat-proofing the room. So yeah, this is our playroom where our rats get their free range time. Usually I give them at least an hour, hour and a half a day, as much as I can, as much as time allows.
You're very generous.
Yes, I'm generous. I guarded off the entrances to this living room with the 2 boxes, one here and one here, so they cannot escape either upstairs or to the garage. And then there were a couple of issues with electric cords. This TV stand has to be, I had to use some coroplast, which is a durable sort of plastic, supposed to be impervious to rats' teeth. Turns out not. They pick on it bit by bit, and they can shoot through it eventually. So I bought some new panels and installed double in places. Still I have to watch them when they are free ranging. I have to make sure they don't jump on it because they can jump very high. One other thing is the cable here for this lamp. Not much I could do here, just tape it a little bit higher so it doesn't draw their attention and they don't try to chew on it. So that's it. Every other door is locked. There are no holes in the walls. I inspected everything. It's supposed to be safe for them.
My name is Bruce Goldfarb, and I'm the Executive Assistant to the Chief Medical Examiner for the state of Maryland in Baltimore City. This is the room that holds the nutshell studies of unexplained death, which are miniature dioramas that are used to train police officers in crime scene investigation. They were made in the 1930s and 40s by a rich socialite by the name of Frances Glessner Lee, who lived in Chicago and had a long and abiding interest in forensic medicine. She was extremely bright, well-read, traveled Europe, introduced as a debutante, and was expected to live the life of a socialite and get married. And I don't think that was quite her interest. She had other interests. She is, the mother of CSI. Each one of these cost what it cost to build a real house. And they were built by authentic construction methods, and they took as long as it took to build a real house. There's a worn spot in front of the toilet, and there's a worn spot in front of the door, and there's schmutz coming up the wall from the heating vent. And she spent enough time in this bathroom or a bathroom like it to know that there would be a worn. I'm sure Frances never in her life ever used a toilet like that. She approaches this with such empathy for these people and their lives. These are people who don't ordinarily have their lives depicted in art. So it's not only for these death scenes, but also it's a snapshot into these people's lives. It's a moment in time frozen. A lot of people, when they look at these, it's a sort of an innate automatic thing to solve them. People want a solution, they want answers, they want to know what happened. These are not meant to be solved, they're not puzzles, they're not whodunits. Some of these, I won't say what number, are staged, and as part of what you're supposed to get out of it is there's an inconsistency between the information that you're being told that's on the front and what is visible in the diorama. Oh, there are solutions. Her solutions. Frances had them written down, her answers, and they're her answers, and as far as I'm concerned, those are good enough. But there could be other answers. They're literally kept under lock and key, and not even the chief has seen the solutions. I've seen the folder. I have not seen the papers. It's a manila folder. Pretty ordinary. It really is just a manila folder.
Actually, I think they'll make the one they're running away from quiet. Because of this.
I had gerbils, I had rats, I had frogs, I had, guinea pigs, I had cats, I had dogs. I always wanted, to me, that's how you get close to God. That's how you get close to God. Get you a pet and pay attention to his works. I'm telling you, it'll make you get closer. You sort of understand who else but a supreme being could put together something like that. What was that address I was at? 15? Yeah, 1518, right? That's what I'm doing first, just looking for signs. Any type of activity, them being here. And I'm not seeing any of that right now. You know, a lot of times doing this, people say, well, how did you look and see anything? You just walked right past it. I say, miss, I've been doing it for a bit, and I know what I'm looking for. Very seldom does it change. After a while, I guess you get so versed, you really pretty much know where everything is at anyway. Go to a community, the same people make the same complaints. You know where the rats are. Some days be better than others. Rat Rubber, Baltimore City. Rat Rubber, Baltimore City. Hello? Hello there. When I first started this job, I think it was 25 of us. And we was rolling. We wasn't playing. We were rolling. We were trying to make a difference. And a lot of days it just felt like, wow, we could be doing so much more. I mean, I don't think this is one of them topics that a lot of people want to talk about. It's just not. It's not one of them, I don't want to talk about no rats. Hush, hush, please. Everybody wants to make everything sugar-coated, soft, and not deal with the reality of things. No, we don't want to talk about it. Yeah, y'all have a good one, baby. It's good seeing you again. I'm not going to make no excuses for it. It's mean. Life is mean. It's mean. It's not designed to be easy. It's what it is. It's going to throw you a lot of curveballs and throw you some sliders every now and then. And you just have to deal with it. You dealt a hand and you got to play it out. There ain't no saying, holy wait, time, I want to change some things first and then start again. Ain't none of that. You just deal with what you have. You deal with it. Deal with it.
An alternate view option provides the ability to overlay real photographs onto the three-dimensional models. an algorithm obscures recognizable facial features. Sometimes, an inanimate object is mistaken for a face. The game does not care if it is human, only that it matches the accepted pattern of the human face. Two men wait for the bus on the corner of 25th Street. A mother stoops to tie the shoes of her daughter off Monument Street. A grandmother in her Sunday's best climbs the stairs, so slowly that she remains on the same step for all 3 frames that she is visible. With the real photographs activated, the game becomes impossible to continuously navigate. There are glitches everywhere within the game, fractures that reveal more than the program was ever meant to. Sometimes, hiding in a tree, beneath a car, or inside of a building, the solar system bursts into view. Object and perspective intersect. The same gaping hole within every object is revealed. A user tries to push deeper in moments like these, but the game pushes back. (1933). Following the stock market crash, the Homeowners Loan Corporation is created. Among its stated purposes, the creation of a residential security map identifying areas of high financial risk for government-backed loans. 14 mapmakers, all white, all men, lead up the effort in Baltimore. Their work is kept secret for decades. Factors considered for residential security. Quote, intensity of the sale and rental demand, percentage of home ownership, age and type of building, economic stability of the area, social status of the population, racial homogeneity and restrictions for protecting homogeneity. May 1st, 1937. Establishment of a map. Neighborhoods are arranged into 4 graded areas. Grade A, or green. Grade B, or blue. Grade C, or yellow. Grade D, or red. Green, quote, in nearly all instances, they are the new well-planned sections of the city. They are homogeneous, in demand as residential locations in good times or bad. Blue, quote, they are like a 1935 automobile, still good, but not what the people are buying today who can afford a new one. Yellow, quote, age, obsolescence, and change of style, expiring restrictions or lack of them, infiltration of a lower grade population, poor maintenance of homes. Generally, these have reached the transition period. Red, quote, detrimental influences in a pronounced degree, undesirable population or an infiltration of it. These primarily black and mixed neighborhoods gained a new, ominous nickname, redlined. Based on geography, residents in redlined areas were denied loans that would have allowed them to move into more affluent neighborhoods. Business ventures that might bring revenue to the neighborhood were considered too risky by banks to invest in. Redlined areas, mapped as such, stayed red. The city continued to integrate. The market responded. House prices plummeted. Industry and industry jobs left and would continue to leave. a great migration to the suburbs began, aided by a slew of government loans and tax incentives for first-time homeowners. Loans and incentives that were only made available to the predominantly white families living in the right color of the map. Isn't it nice to think that when it rains, the whole city gets wet?
How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Great.
Right now, we're at Scarpetta House. This is our training facility for our forensic investigators. It's basically like a studio apartment. We have a bedroom, kitchen, living room, bathroom, and we use this to stage, using mannequins, stage death scenes to train our investigators, and occasionally other groups that come in from the outside. This is the bedroom. We have the bed, crib, and we can set up different scenarios depending on what we're doing. You know, we can do shootings, stabbings. We have a grill. We can simulate a carbon monoxide poisoning. There are prop weapons, and we have prop drugs hidden around. So when our investigators come in, you can check the windows, you can look through the garbage can, you can look through the cabinets, and just as you would in a real scene, and look for anything that may or may not be meaningful. Well, we did a Jonestown kind of mass suicide thing a year or so ago, and we had I can show you photos, but we had pretty much wall-to-wall bodies. You know, there are people all over in the bedroom, and they all drink Kool-Aid. There's the Kool-Aid cup. These are actually these girls, and the ones in the bed, those are the daughters of people who work here. There's one of our forensic investigators, and the red is to simulate the lividity settling from the blood, and they had to chew Alka-Seltzer to get the foaming at the mouth, which tastes really nasty, and that's what she's doing. She's chomping on this Alka-Seltzer, and it does not taste good. So that's what they do.
December 2nd, 1957. John B. Calhoun, a former research assistant on Dr. Davis's rodent ecology project, writes a letter to Mr. Eugene Casey of Gaithersburg, Maryland, asking permission to use a barn on his property for an upcoming experiment. Quote, It has been with great anticipation that I have followed the remodeling of your barn near Gaithersburg. By it, you are making possible certain much-needed scientific studies that no one to date has had the opportunity to initiate. Experiments began the following year at the newly renovated Casey Barn. The project was funded by the National Institute of Mental Health. Their aim? To study the effects of crowding on the development of social pathology. 32 rats were placed in the main room of the barn, sealed by a 140-square-foot enclosure divided into 4 quadrants. The simulated environment provided unlimited food, shelter, and protection from predation for its rat inhabitants. The only limiting factor was space. The rat population was observed for a period of 16 months. After a period of initial growth, the population stabilized at around 80 individuals. Soon after, however, it was nearing total collapse. A class of dominant male rats emerged, sealing themselves off with 8 to 10 females in high-rise apartments above the city. Below, subordinate males went berserk, attacking females, juveniles, and less active males. Mothers ceased providing adequate shelter for their young, often leaving them to die in poorly built nests. Population growth came to a halt as asexual, cannibalistic rats preyed on their abandoned young. Calhoun called these cumulative effects the behavioral sink. The goal, ultimately, wasn't to learn how to create these effects in man, but how to better design physical space so that behavioral sinks in man could be avoided. In photos, Calhoun gazes out over his universe like a Gnostic god visiting a creation he has long since left behind. But he is not there to save the rats, just to observe. His only concern is how to do better next time. Today, the Casey Barn has been repurposed as a community rental space. Their website advertises potential uses such as wedding receptions, family reunions, bar and bat mitzvahs, birthday parties, and business meetings. There is a full-service nursery school and daycare in the basement.
We'll go to one of my favorite alleys that usually always has many rats.
Ignorant son of a bitch. Well, you just took it off and just walked over there and slayed on it. It sucks. It sucks when you can see. So you can't see the fish steal your bait, okay, when it's in the water. But you can see a rat take your bait right off the hook. So that sucks even worse, you know? So it's got to be patient. You got to be real patient. Got to kind of like keep your cool, because here they come. Once again, you got to kind of keep your line tight.
See trash everywhere. Perfect area for rat hideouts.
it. Yeah, you gonna walk the fuck home. That shit gonna be all on you.
Yeah, this guy did not struggle at all. See, that's a headshot. Had no idea what was coming. Right in the head. No suffering.
I don't know. Life is funny. It's funny. It got to be funny because if you take it too serious, you'll wind up someplace where you really don't want to be. Sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's funny. I don't know. I know I did what I was supposed to do most of the time. Not all the time. I won't have no regrets about none of that. None of that. And I think that's the only thing you can do.
Do rats go to heaven?
I don't believe it's a heaven. I really don't. I believe that it's crazy to live a lifetime and to gather all that information and then just cease to exist. I think the spirit part might go somewhere near some type of collective. But I don't think you just live a lifetime and gather all that information and just expire and that's the end. I don't believe that. As far as heaven and hell, no, I'm not gonna get spooky with all that God, this and that. No, I'm not gonna do that to myself. No, I'm not. No. I don't even believe in really good and bad. It's just some people who have some stuff happen that make them make decisions contrary to how I believe or how I feel. And then so they act out in ways. They just do stuff. It's some more stuff piled up on some more stuff. And I'm not going there with myself. I'm just not me.
See, I know that guy. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Young lady, please call me. Just dial the 311. This is my neighborhood. This is the area I do. So every time I come, I'm gonna go above and beyond and try to cut this mess up. Honest, I'm not just making my mouth say that. Please call. Please call. And you're gonna be laughing. You're gonna be laughing because they're gonna be gone.
If you could get me to the point where I can throw you a bushel of flowers,
You're gonna say.
You'll be the one that's laughing.
No, you're gonna be so happy because you're gonna be able to enjoy your yard. Watch.
That's all I want.
Watch.
That's all I want. But thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
We appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. I got you.
My heroes.
I got you. Yes, ma'am. That's the best part of the job right there. Is you run into that one person who say, man, thank you. Just thank you. Ain't no whole lot of conversation. Thank you. We running out of time.
A map of arrests in Baltimore City during 2015 and graded for density. Transparent areas indicate regions with the highest concentration of arrests. The same map, layered over the 1937 residential security map of Baltimore city limits. Red, yellow, and diagonally shaded areas indicate those neighborhoods deemed the highest financial risk by the Homeowners Loan Corporation nearly 80 years ago. A 2015 survey map of vacant homes and graded for density. Transparent areas indicate regions with the highest concentration of vacant homes. And the same map, layered over the 1937 residential security map. A map of Baltimore neighborhoods below the poverty line, layered over. A map of Baltimore neighborhoods where the unemployment rate is double or greater than the national average, layered over. A map showing neighborhoods where average life expectancy is 1 standard deviation or more below the average for the entire city, and layered over. New maps, old maps, same maps. It is July 4th in Baltimore, and the entire population has gathered on a hillside to watch the complete and final demolition of the city. It has been decided to start again. A press conference was held earlier in the day to announce the decision. The news has been received better than expected. Past indiscretions have been recognized. Plans are in place not to repeat mistakes. The mayor has announced her resignation. Open submissions have begun for the next American creation myth. streets will be redrawn. Private property will be raffled at every corner store. An elite rat task force will be created. There will be trash pickup every day. Streets will glisten. The city will be renamed. New Baltimore, it will be called. Before the world became the world, it was an egg. Inside the egg was dark. The rat nibbled the egg and let the light in. And the world began.
Bosses on strike gonna raise a fare so they could help pollute the air. But that's what makes the world go round. The up and down. The up and down. Carousel. That's what makes the world go round. The up and down. Carousel. Changing beat. The up and down. Carousel.
Why you wanna go From the mouse to the man to the guillotine. From the mouse to the man to the satellites of death. 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 Rats!